Okay, so today's video is going to be about vertical pulls, okay? Vertical pulls more than horizontal pulls are way, way hard, depending on the athlete and what their athletic background is and how much upper body strength they have. It's just hard, okay? We see a lot of horizontal pulls like dumbbell rows. We talk about inverted rows here with like a TRX strap. These are all great, introductory type pulls, okay? But eventually we want an athlete, depending on their goals and shoulder mobility, want them to start working on their vertical pulls. And pull-ups feel so challenging. Like, they just start laughing at you when they see pull-up on the workout or pull-up on the board. And so just a couple of, hopefully, versions or regressions of the pull that can get the athlete psyched to start working on it, or at least a environment where they can actually train in to potentially work up to regular pull-ups, or just for anything, just at least be in some sort of vertical pull scenario. A very common one, and depending on what kind of gym you have or what access you have to some machine type equipment, would be like a pull down, like cable machine, like with the lap bar or handles. That's perfect, right? You can put as little or as much load on that thing as you need, right? You're just moving that pin around. And that's a great version. Some people don't have access to that, whether it's at a home gym or their gym just doesn't have any machines, or they just got like pull-up bars. And so we're going to talk about what that's going to look like on the bar. So again, if you don't have access to some sort of pull down machine, we're talking about probably two versions of regressions here. Is getting up in a chin up formation, so that's palms facing you, right? If your palms are facing away, that's like the true classic pull up shape, and that's primarily just your upper back. You're not incorporating the bicep. So if you were to grab your bicep and flex and then move your palm out, that bicep is gonna de-engage or disengage, and it's gonna feel a lot harder. So this is why we have people start here, so they can have as much muscle recruitment in this pull-up formation as possible. So you'll just get on a box, or maybe the bar is low enough where you're gonna use your legs to jump up above into this shape where your chin's above the bar, and you're just gonna do reps at 3-second holds. So say it says 3 sets of 5 pull-ups. You're going to do 1 set with 5 3-second holds, and then keep repeating. Maybe you're doing other stuff in your set, but it's going to look like this. So you're going to use your legs to jump up. 1, 2, 3. Come back down. Okay, that's 1 rep. Do it for whatever you have in your set and rep scheme for your workout. Boom. Most people can do that. Depending on the athlete, maybe they're just doing pull downs, and that's where they should stay for a while. Eventually that lock off starts to feel pretty easy, and we're going to work any version of like working from the top and then down that feels hard but doable. And so usually the next progression is a quarter chin up. So you're going to do the same thing, jump with the chin above the bar, come just a quarter of the way down, come back up. And these are going to be your reps. And then eventually you can go at 90, so like half chin ups. You can go to 3/4, and then eventually you could be working into the full chin up, okay? Remember, you're staying at a stage that feels hard but doable, and then only going down when it feels appropriate. So that could be months at one version or one regression, and then eventually graduating to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Once someone's able to do full chin-ups reliably for like say 3 sets of 5, we could potentially start working on the pull-up. We can work that from the top down if we need to, or we can work it from the bottom, depending on how much strength that athlete's got. If you're starting at the 3-second hang, it's going to be a long time before you can do a pull-up. And I don't mean to discourage you all, I just mean that it's going to take that amount of time. It's not going to come easy. You've got to stay consistent. You have to be honest with yourself in those regressions and stay with them for long enough to then graduate.